Let's look at these treasures. We got the mystical silver fork and the mysterious jewelry box. Right now, I have been seeing jewelry box inside of the arena. All right, so let's see if we can go and get these and max them out for some testing.
A few minutes later.
So the mysterious jewelry box. All right, a mysterious jewelry box falls down, dealing area damage of 441.0% relative to the highest attack in your team, and stun the target for 2.5 seconds. Okay, so there's a stun. If the target is a cookie, it applies debuff that increases received damage by 25%, reduces attack by 50%, and crit percentage by 50% for 15 seconds. And the damage as well as the damage that they take increases with level. So I think that's the reason why it's being used inside of the arena. The stun is there, as well as the fact that you're able to make that particular cookie, you know, take extra damage and deal less damage. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. And yeah, the cooldown is actually really short. It's a 4-second charge, but the cooldown is only 7 seconds. Actually, why we see this treasure being used inside of the arena, right? So yeah, now they take extra 50% damage, all right, and they do 50% less damage, or I guess they decrease the attack by 50%, as well as the crit percentage by 50%. Like, decreasing the crit by 50% is actually so big. Okay, and let's look at the mystical silver fork. Applies a mystical era buff for every regular or skill attack from ally cookies. When mystical era reaches 7 stacks, it will disappear, increasing attack by 0.40% and crit damage by 0.8% for 15 seconds. Attack and crit damage buffs can stack up to 25 times. From this one, just from all the levels, it's going to increase the attack. So apparently this fork was being used for the Living Abyss until the buff for Twizzly Gummy actually came out. So because of that, this treasure has basically became useless. That is very interesting that they have done that. But what I am actually interested in seeing is treasure chest. Because I need to see the treasure chest, man. Apparently this and this is not the same variant, so I'm actually surprised about that as well. Yeah, one is a treasure, one is a jewelry box, so I guess the little name difference, right? Alright, let's just look at this. BAM! The giant chest comes out, stuns the enemies. I love it. It's so funny, man. Alright, come on, strawberry crate. So strawberry crate should be considered a quote-unquote cookie in this particular case, right? So if we use this thing, boom, it gets stunned, and then you also see all of these debuffs that come out. The weakness of 50% extra damage, alright, as well as the crit down, attack down, and then the extra stun. Love it. Love it. It's so good. It's actually very interesting, right? That they have made a treasure like that come out in this thing here. I don't know. Do you think we can beat it with just 2 cookies? I have no idea. All right. So again, we have to attack multiple times. So right there, it just keeps stacking. So you can see right here, crit damage buff, attack buff increases because our Eternal Sugar hits multiple times, right? So it just keeps stacking up. You can see right here, it just keeps on stacking up. And then the auto attack also gives extra stacks here. And I believe the poison also is giving extra stacks too. I'm not too sure if that is the case. If it is, obviously you don't see poison on this, but it's the whirlpool that's doing the extra hits. Wonder if the poison will also do it, if poison is a thing. But you see so much attack buff and crit damage up. That's actually interesting. I could see why it was used for the Abyss, except for the fact that because they buffed up Twizzly Gummy, like if you guys look at this patch, Twizzly Gummy's crit damage buff for the team is now a new basic. Alright, so basically that treasure is not as good because that treasure only increases crit damage by 0.8%, and you have to keep on stacking this while Twizzly just straight up increases it. But what I really want to see is this being used, the jewelry box. Alright, the jewelry box being used inside of the arena. It's a mirror matchup. It's a mirror matchup. This is basically the cooldown difference now. And then that charm came out, and it does look like we might actually lose this one. I am gonna be honest. Oh wait, what? What happened? Never mind. We somehow won. I thought we were gonna lose, but we won. This treasure is actually kind of busted, man. Because of the fact that we don't have like Fin and Seer inside, right? There's no debuff immunity. Very interesting. All right, so this one is using the royal necklace while we're using the jewelry box. So let's see. They do have higher promotion than my cookies, so let's see how this one turns out. It's crazy that pretty much all of these cookies are doing something to prevent our cookies from doing something. All right, and here comes the jewelry box stun. All right, stun again. Yep. And that fire spirit basically wasn't able to do it. Stun again. And our Shadow Milk used the skill first, and that means we win. And even the Hydra gets stunned, bro. That's so funny. That even the Hydra gets stunned. It's funny, but so good. And because of the fact that we do have stun resistant by Snapdragon, it decreases the stun duration from 2.5 seconds to like maybe a second. But still, man, the debuff, right? The debuff itself is so good. Again, the royal necklace while we're using the treasure chest. It's basically having a weakness debuff, right? It's basically having a weakness debuff with the treasure. Instead of having to use a cookie that has the weakness debuff, we can just apply it with the treasure chest. Which is actually so insane. Oh, that one was a clean victory. Yeah, Eternal Sugar just doing so much damage along with this thing. And these cookies are just not like this pure vanilla didn't even get to do anything, man. The debuff is AoE because it's the treasure chest falls into an area, and whoever cookie or whatever cookie is in that particular area that gets stunned and gets hit by the chest also takes the debuff. So yes, that is going to be for a lot of different cookies. All right. Yeah, dude. Look at Burning Spice. Burning Spice literally didn't get to do anything. Like the immortality of that Burning Spice pops so quickly because you also do have that weakness debuff on the Burning Spice, just taking all of the damage. That is crazy. Well, for sure, right now, the treasure box or the jewelry box, just like how you saw inside of the story, if you guys watched the story, it's kind of busted. So I think the jewelry box is going to be used. But again, unfortunately, right now, after the Twizzly buff, instead of Cream Ferret right now, apparently what the build is with Twizzly. Twizzly's Magic Candy is just going to be enough. Alright, it's just going to do better. So you technically just don't need the fork. So fork, I don't think is something that you need to pull, but I think if you're into arena meta, I think the jewelry box is gonna be a great pull. Do you need to have treasure maxed out to use it? In my opinion, it's better because of the fact that it increases the damage that they take, right? By 50% instead of the 20 or 25%. But yeah, fork right now is not that great, but at least according to what we have seen, the jewelry box is great. So go and pull for that one. All right. If the fork has a revive, then I will let you guys know in the future.